everybody! I wanted to make a first gameplay impressions video of Forgotten Land instead of, well, this. But I have my microphone in the lowest settings, so we're doing an analysis video instead. This will be going over my gameplay, and I will be talking over it and giving my analysis on a couple of things. So the first thing I immediately noticed is the difficulty settings. We have Wild Mode and Spring Breeze mode. So obviously, first of all, this is pretty good that we get the difficulty selection thing right at the start of the game. And I definitely say I'm going to be probably playing the whole game in Wild Mode because it just feels normal to me. And then the opening cutscene, I just want to mention the graphics of this game. They look so good. This is so pretty. God, it's pretty. I cannot stop gushing about how pretty this is. It's like everything about the graphics of this game that I've noticed so far looks so good for what it needs to be, and I am so happy. So, on to the actual gameplay. So right away, the controls for this game are very good. I never played Blow Up Blast before this, so I had no idea how 3D Kirby was gonna control, but I gotta say, this definitely was a good first start to it. I enjoyed the controls of the game. I definitely thought they were good. The only real complaint is that it just takes too long to shoot at things. It's not instant like in the other Kirby games, but hey, nothing is perfect. This can't be all perfect. The swimming looks funny as Fat Kirby. This game's incredible. I cannot wait to play the full version. And honestly, I really like the platforming is smooth. I like all the abilities. We'll be talking about this later. And this game is really overall really controls really good. I'm so bad at talking. Abilities in this game were definitely something I should have expected. They were all toned down from Star Allies. So Sword has only 3 attacks. Rapid Strike, the jump slash thing, and the spin attack. You can jump during the spin attack, which is sort of a replacer for Twister Slash. However, it's still pretty cool. I like the Hurricane Spin Wind Waker thing from it. I like how you can... But moving on, I tried to check the pause menu to see if I can get controls, but they removed it. I couldn't find, and if anyone knows where they are please let me know, because I couldn't find it, and I'm super sad. That was so cool. Cool, you could just pause the game and find out your controls. I mean, it's so easy to figure out what your abilities did. Definitely sad that's gone, but overall, Sword, pretty fun in this game. Pretty fun, definitely an ability I'll probably be using more than in an average Kirby game because it's pretty easy considering this is a 3D game, and Sword is definitely going to stand up for the competition a bit better in general, though we still haven't seen every single ability, so it could be in class by like Hammer or something when we eventually get to play as that. Not much longer, Sword gets out of the spotlight because we're moving on to my favorite ability from the demo, Bomb. I had way too much fun bowling these things around considering it's so freaking fast in this game. Bomb is super spammable in this game. It's always been a spammable ability in my opinion because you can just hurl bombs around at your enemies. I also definitely like the 3D pointer thing that makes it easier to snipe enemies. Though I definitely say Bomb Bowl is the main reason I really love this ability. It's so freaking spammable. Well, it can take out things so freaking fast. Probably the ability I will be using the most, I think. I haven't taken a look at other abilities like Drill or Ranger because I've looked. They're not in the demo as far as I can tell. Someone prove me wrong if you're able to. Though, overall, Bomb, my favorite ability from the demo. This thing is so much fun. After a cutscene straight out of the direct, we finally get to use Mouthful Mode, and I gotta say, it was worth this wait. Though we don't have access to every form yet, I definitely would say Kirby Car makes this whole feature so cool. Zooming around on this thing is so much fun, and it's super satisfying to burrow everything in your path. I'm also expecting this thing to be used in the speedrun, even for just this one level. It's really fast, and I expect this thing to be used in every which way it can, even if it's just a tutorial. And the other forms of this demo were Cone, Own, Vending Machine, and I think like Pot or something. I'll go into them when they pop up. But overall, I probably had the most fun with Kirby Car more than anything. So yeah, this was super cool. There's not really much theorizing I can do about this game's demo because it literally just came out and there's nothing, and I haven't looked at it much yet. But one thing I do want to theorize about is Elflin. Now, when people first saw Elflin, people immediately thought he was evil, which I can totally see why. He's definitely playing the same cards as Magalore did. Though Elflin does talk about trying to help the Waddle Dees and fight off the Beast Gang, which is kind of strange. I have no idea what Elflin's motives are, though I do say if he is part of the Beast Gang, I definitely say he's definitely just helping the Waddle Dees to get Kirby's trust or something. Or Elflin is the secret master and oh my god, he's evil and oh no. Or he could just be a really good guy, I don't know. Would you look at that? It's ability number 2. Cutter is definitely an ability I wasn't expecting much of in this game, though I gotta say it's still kind of disappointing. Not having Cutter Dash is definitely hurts it in the movement department, and definitely the projectile not being able to be charged before being thrown makes it pretty limited for damage output, but unevolved. We'll get to Chakram Cutter later, don't worry. Overall, I do like this ability, though I do definitely say it could have been more. So right here, I happen to notice something pretty strange. There's missions in this game that unlock Waddle Dees. If I'm not mistaken, this means we don't have to look for all the Waddle Dees in order to get all the features in Waddle Dee Town. Now, this is actually a pretty good thing. I like this. Yes, I definitely say this is an interesting thing that no other Kirby game's done, though I still like it. Moving on from weird gushing aside, we have the next mouthful mode, vending machine. Definitely one I was not really excited by when I played as it. When I first saw this, I honestly thought they were bringing back Fridge from 64, the one that gives you infinite healing. And we definitely see resemblance of that in this clip. I think you do in fact can get healing from this ability. However, it's not unlimited because there is a limit to how many juice cans you can fire, and it's 99. Definitely an ability that could have been stronger, though I still think it's funny. Also notable here happens to be something to do with the figurines. They're collectible in the overworld, sort of like the stickers and keychains from Planet Robot and Triple Deluxe. Definitely. So yay, we won't have to grind money for several hours in order to roll the gacha enough times in order to get them all. We can simply collect them in the overworld while playing. That's a pretty good thing if I'm gonna be honest, and I definitely like that. It definitely makes collecting them hopefully a lot more fun. If someone can mention a time in the Kirby series where Kirby was fully animated and riding the Warp Star in the games, be my guest. I want to see it. We might have gotten less mouthful mode abilities than regular ones in this game, but I still have more to talk about with them. Cone is definitely an ability I can see being pretty fun. It is pretty fun spiking everything with the piercing effects of the cone. However, I also do know that it is probably the most useful of the ones we got in the demo, and definitely the most common. Man, seriously, I was seeing cone everywhere throughout the major platforming level of the demo. I also generally like its use for solving puzzles and cracking things, and I like the attention to detail with the stakes it puts in the ground. Other than that, it's a pretty basic one and done ability that I honestly like. Here we see the first mini boss, which notably uses the upgraded sword ability instead of the regular one. Definitely weird, and I've never seen Giga Eng have a shield before that was this big. Definitely fitting for a new land with new mini boss variants. Overall, Wild Edge is a pretty simple variation of Giga Edge, and honestly, he's around the exact same, but it is still cool to see it. We also get our glimpse of the final mouthful ability in the dome. This one is mostly just used to open it. It doesn't do much, and honestly, it's just a secret gaper. There's not really much to talk about with this thing, besides the fact that it looks rather funny, seeing Kirby just open this dome by twisting his mouth. Albeit the one that definitely got the least treatment. This whole mini-boss fight right here really puts Cone's innate purpose into action right here. The puzzle solving of Cone and the fact that you have to use it to pierce the shell of this mini-boss, which otherwise can't be killed, I tried, is pretty fun, and honestly a pretty good way to end off this demo level with the use of the mouthful mode, showing how important it really is. We also get to see the new Kirby dance here. It's shorter, like the lower parts of the Gold game. However, it's still really cute. We also get new lore in the figurines. This definitely confirms. This may or may not be confirming that mouthful mode is from the vortex powers, and it's pretty cool. Alphalence really doesn't go into anything, saying other than the fact that it's confirming that he was trying to save the Waddle Dees from the Beast Pack, which is pretty cool and definitely might lessen the theories of Alpha being evil. Unfortunately, lesser figurines like this Poppy Bros Jr. here don't have any descriptions, which is very disappointing. Here we get the last base ability in the demo, or at least the ones I used, Ice, and this is the one I'm most disappointed by. Ice practically lost everything from previous games. It now only has Ice Breath, which was among its worst its lesser used moves. Ice in general, however, Ice does have the power to freeze things. Which definitely helps it regain its damage. Otherwise, I probably would have regretted using it, so it's not too bad. Also, Kirby getting grabbed in the scene looks funny. Here's a close of Ice freezing something, specifically a boss. Notice the huge chunk increase in the damage. This definitely helps Ice catch up with damage, but overall, I still did not like it. Overall, the boss fight itself wasn't that bad. It was super fun. This boss is easy, but not too easy. I've often found myself getting hit by attacks when I was just holding attacks and doing nothing. Though overall, if you were playing a different ability, a more rapid-paced ability for that matter, it probably would be easier. But with something like Ice, it actually is pretty hard to consistently keep up the damage. I also got to learn that Ice's guard is also a perfect guard. I didn't take any. I took little to no damage during the spinning attack and attack, which makes guarding, this basically proves to me that guarding is good in this game, at least with Ice. I haven't tried it with the other ones yet. The last thing I want to talk about are evolved abilities, which you get after beating the first boss in this demo, at least for the demo. Starting off with Chakram Cutter, it really doesn't change much about Cutter besides adding more projectiles to it, yeah, I guess it's kind of good. But honestly, I honestly didn't really expect much out of it. Nothing really changed for Cutter besides having more projectiles and being more boomerang-like with certain attacks, like Final Cutter, for instance. Overall, pretty similar to normal Cutter. Still an improvement though. Next up is Chain Bomb. Definitely one I got surprised by the most. I honestly did not expect it to be this good. First of all, the explosions last longer. I suppose the explosions last longer than they normally do if you link up the bombs, which means you can definitely do a lot more damage with them the more you link them up. This is definitely a positive to linking up the bombs. Bombs meaning they're stronger. I gotta say the damage output is pretty absurd with these things. I didn't realize this at first in this clip, but their damage is really freaking good. I love this ability. Here's where I happen to notice Chain Bomb's damage. Took me a while to realize it, but oh my god, that was a lot of damage. Next up is Gigantword, and this half proved my theory that some of the abilities were going to change up the gameplay based on which evolution they had. While the normal sword is all rapid attacking and such, this thing is more slow and heavy hitting, which it's still fast like regular sword, though it still feels like a heavier sword, which I definitely like. I like this ability. Last and probably least, we have Frosty Ice. Nice. Frosty Ice pretty much does nothing to change up Ice besides maybe increasing the damage output by allowing Ice to make projectiles as it's firing Ice Breath. I really don't like this power. I feel like it doesn't really fix Ice's problems of lacking a lot of things that made Ice good in the previous games. In exchange for basically giving it something it didn't really need. If you look at Ice from Planet Robobot in more depth, like in the arena speedruns, it was a close combat powerhouse, but this time it feels like a zoner. Not saying it's bad, it just feels different, but for the wrong ways. And that's gonna do it for my analysis on the new and returning things, at least for gameplay, in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And I'll be making more videos on this game once the game fully comes out, so make sure to subscribe for that. It's free and it really helps out. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.